February of 2018. It's a $2.25 billion bond. Some was for a period of 5, others were for 7, and some for 10 years. These were bonds that government issued to raise some funds into the economy shortly after they had taken over government, the reins of government. And the point that the NDC minority then had made was that the finance minister had simply cooked the bond for his family and friends. And it all stemmed from Franklin Templeton, which is an investment entity that took some of these bonds. And the point was made that one of its director, Trevor Trevgan, is a director of Enterprise, which is a company that they said the finance minister had interest in. And so it was on that basis that the NDC minority made those allegations against the finance minister. A member of the NDC took the matter up to the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, asking that it investigates the issue of conflict of interest against the finance minister. Shraj cleared the finance minister of any wrongdoing, as Shraj was of the view that the bond was issued in a manner that did not favor family and friends, as was being alleged by Mr. Aboagye-Wiafe. The Dynamic Youth Movement of Ghana then came in and took the matter to the Supreme Court, saying that as far as they are concerned, Shraj exceeded its mandate when it cleared the finance minister of any wrongdoing in terms of the issuance of the bond. And so they wanted a declaration that indeed the finance minister breached the rules of conflict of interest required of public officers, and so that should be the declaration of the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision today, presided over by Chief Justice Kwesi Enin-Yeboah, disagreed with them, holding that the decision of Shraj is the right decision, and proceeded to state that the case that was filed was without merit. And so they make the point that the full details of that particular decision will be made available in a written judgment, Darrell.
All right, and so do we have any reactions from both sides to this ruling by the Supreme Court?
The reaction we have has to do with the Dynamic Youth Movement of Ghana. They are concerned about what's happened. They are of the view that as far as they are concerned, they disagree with this particular decision because they are of the opinion that the finance minister acted wrongly when he proceeded to issue the bond in such a manner. And so they would have expected a decision from the Supreme Court in their favor. But once that did not happen, they say for now, they are looking forward to getting the judgment of the court, which the Supreme Court has indicated will contain the reasons for its conclusions. And so once they receive that and study it, they'll decide the next line of action.
Yeah, because I was going to ask how these things work for those who are watching, whether it brings a finality to the matter or the other party, that is the DIMOG, can appeal this decision by the Supreme Court.
At the Supreme Court, there's an opportunity for a review. And so this is a 7-member panel. Once you file for a review, 2 others will join the panel. And so you hope that they will be able to have a second opinion. But that is a decision that they will have to decide whether to exercise or not. And one thing that the lawyers will also be looking to assess is the fact that if it's a 7-member panel and all 7 agreed that your case is not a case of merit, and so when you are going for 2 people are going to join for a review, it means that you're expecting 9 people to now turn around, including the 7 that disagree with you at the first instance. But all those are matters that the Dynamic Youth Movement of Ghana would have to come to a decision once they study the judgment of the court as to whether they want to go for a review or not. But that will be the last option. Once they exhaust that review mechanism, then it's done and dusted, and there will no longer be any legal issues related to this bond matter.
Joseph Akable, thanks very much indeed for that update. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Darren.
And you're watching Business Live. We're moving to fuel matters. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana says ex-pump prices are expected to go down by about 2% in the current pricing window as the effects of the coronavirus continue to bite. Even though crude prices collapsed on the world market some weeks ago, the city has come under pressure, and some of the gains made have seen significant erosion, influencing the decision by of the oil marketing companies to reduce prices by not more than 2%. Here is Executive Secretary of the Chamber,